I Won't Use a Number and TowerFall Dark World is an expansion for TowerFall Ascension. This means that you can't play Dark World if you don't have the original game. If that's the case, you can check out my video on the base game, which I will link in the description. Without further ado... Dark World is essentially more of what people love about TowerFall. There's 4 new stages, all of which feel unique and of course come with amazing music. The most interesting of these new stages is Cataclysm, which has procedurally generated levels as opposed to randomly selecting from a series of pre-made levels. I imagine that adds an insane amount of variance, which this game already had a ridiculous amount of. We've got 2 new arrow types, Trigger and Prism. Trigger arrows are essentially bomb arrows that don't explode until you press the fire button again. Prism arrows act normally until they're caught. Catching a prism arrow traps you in a small box, heavily limiting your movement. Both of these arrow types change up the flow of the game significantly and make TowerFall sessions even more intense. The other largest addition is a new co-op mode for 4 players. It's relatively short, but each level has a boss and it feels better paced than the sometimes overwhelming quest mode. It also adds a higher difficulty level, which adds new attacks to bosses, and definitely provides a challenge for you masochists out there. Since this new co-op mode has 4 players, you can more easily switch back and forth between versus and co-op if one of them is growing stale. Finally, each of the archers now has a new costume, and there's also a new archer, which also has an alternate costume. This means that there's a lot of new pixel art for me to gawk at. The bottom line is, if you like TowerFall, Dark World will only make you like it even more, and it's absolutely worth your money. That said, if you have suggestions for any future videos, questions about this game, or want to share your thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below. If you thought this video was useful in any way, or if you really dig the evil theming of this expansion, you can hit that like button and subscribe. And if you're looking for me in other corners of the internet, I have a Tumblr and I'm a curator on Steam. This has been I Won't Use a Number, keep loving what you love, and as always, I'll see you next time with something else.